because I used to like, not want to do the podcast. I kind of worried about what people are going to think.
Yeah.
For 2 years, I didn't do it.
Hmm.
And then I did it, started reaching out to people. Sometimes I type the message out and then just delete it. And I'll be like, they're not going to reply. And
Mm.
then, just started doing it. And then, one thing leads to another. And, you've got to put that kind of work in, haven't you? And just step out of that fear almost.
Yeah, you definitely have to like just put yourself out there and be okay with hearing no, because
Mm,
especially with what I do, I hear no a lot, and I'm okay with that because that one yes is that one yes that you need. So I'm okay
mm,
with hearing no 100 times. I'm okay with getting no responses. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt the brand. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt anything hearing no. It's okay to
mm,
hear no because you need like 100 no's to get that one yes, and that one yes is could be the one that could make all the difference. And especially in my realm of like putting myself out there, putting my designs out there, if they don't sell, like worrying, because like I have like hundreds of designs and I gotta
yeah.
pick and choose which one I'm gonna put out, and not knowing if it's gonna sell or not. You really can't like worry about that type of stuff. You just gotta go for it. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta take the risk. Taking the risk is really what, if you really want to be like somebody, and if you really want to make some kind of difference and do something, then you have to put a risk. You got to take the risk. That's like really what it's all about. And you got to be okay with losing. You got to be okay with failure. You got to be okay with hearing no. And the only way to win is to be okay with that. And like the only way to actually make any type of progress is being okay and taking the leap and taking the risk. That's the only way you could get forward, is by taking the risk, like in anything really, not just entrepreneurship, or just in life in general. You got to be a little bit scared to know that you're doing the right thing. And like if you're not scared going into it, then it's probably not even something that important. If you are scared going into it, then it's a good thing. It's because
Mm,
you're doing something that's worthwhile.
yeah, no, tell 'em. It's I completely agree with you, and I think it's really powerful, isn't it? And I think, like you said as well, you know, being scared is kind of part of that process, and like getting those rejections and getting the no's and getting those setbacks and you know getting those kind of negative responses is you know not nice, but I think, like you said, over time you've almost you almost build up like a thick skin to it, and that after like 100 or 200 or however many no's, there was going to be that one yes, isn't there? Somewhere in that pool of things, and you're going to be able to appreciate that yes because you've had so many like no's. And I think in life people aren't used to that. A lot of people aren't used to getting no's, and I know some people who you know haven't really kind of experienced that. If something happens in their lives at some point, like a no or rejection, they're not probably going to be able to deal with it as good compared to someone who's had kind of lots of that. If that makes sense. And I think it's important to fail at something or make mistakes, because in that process it's a bit of a it's like a learning process, isn't it? It's quite self-reflective. It's like, well, okay, that didn't work out, what do I need to do better, that kind of thing.
Yeah, hearing the no's and like having the failures is definitely, it's not a bad thing at all. People
Mm,
think it's a bad thing. It's really not. It's actually a good thing, because you have to, analyze the situation. It could just be because timing. It could just be because of this or that. But you have
mm,
time to analyze the situation, how you could improve it the next time. Um, how to get better. Like people really are scared to hear these no's, and to me, I'm not scared. And does it hurt a little bit when you do hear a no? Or if you, of course it does, but that doesn't mean don't try, and
yeah.
that doesn't mean that it's always going to be a no. Like you could
Mm,
always change a no into a yes. Like
mm,
hearing the no is fine, because at least you got an answer. If you don't get an answer, then it's a different situation. Then you just got to keep trying different things.
mm, mm. Oh, that's really great advice. That's really, really great advice.